We are back with the Chicago Blackhawks rebuild. Gonna jump right into part number 2. If you haven't caught part 1, make sure you catch that on my channel in the same playlist. This is gonna be part number 2 with seasons 3 and 4. Starting right off here in the draft, the Anaheim Ducks did get the first overall pick, and they will land franchise defenseman Landon DuPont. We have the 22nd overall pick. Now, I've been in the draft class. I'm going to take a look and show you guys exactly who we're targeting here. We actually found looks like a steal here later in the first round. It's going to be Christian Forsberg. Now, he's a top 6 forward medium potential, power forward probably, 6'2", 205. But here is where the real skill lies. A+ shooting, probably A+ puck skills, A- senses, A- skating, A physical, A- defense. At this point in the draft, at 22nd overall, this is a good player. He is NHL ready. Like I said, top 6 forward, similar side of Sean Couturier. I mean, this is just a wonderful pick if we can land him at 22. There are some other players here that we could consider, but I think he is far and away the best player. So we're going to go ahead and just sim straight forward to our pick and hope that he's still there. Forsberg is still here, so we're going to make this pick in a heartbeat. Like I said, far and away the best player right now in the draft at the 20s. 79 overall, power forward, center position. What a wonderful pick at 22. Our next pick is at 46, so we'll take a look at the draft class now at 46, or anybody leading up to that, and see if there's any trades we want to make to move up for somebody. We are going to try to make a move up for Adam Helm, a low elite potential right wing, left wing, so plays either side. Big guy at 6'4", two-way forward. Has pretty good abilities. A- shooting for a two-way forward is really good. B puck skills, B senses, good size. 2 years away, so not too far away, and that potential is really good. And he's a gem. So 38 is where he's projected to go. We're going to see if we can make a move up to that 38th spot, or maybe a little bit before that, and just see what we can get done here. Here's the deal to move up. It's going to be 46 overall this year, 57th overall this year, for 34 and a third next year. So, okay value here. I think this is fine. We'll go ahead and send that over. They will accept it. And now we're going to sim forward to 34 and pick up Helm, if he's still here. Like I said, low elite potential, really good pick here for us. Plays both sides, both wings positions. Elite low, 71 overall, not too bad in the second round. Our next pick is going to be 54, so we'll take a look around here. Again, if there's anybody here that I like, we'll go ahead and make a move up as well. I'm not afraid to move up a little bit, especially here in the second and third round. Good players start going off the board pretty quickly. The next player that I want is actually at pick 92. Not a whole lot of options until then, at least that I can see. The value seems to have dried up a little bit, so actually I'm going to try and package these 2 second-round picks and this first third-round pick here. See if I can get a first-round pick in the draft next year. Probably take the player I want, 80 overall, just to make sure that we get him, and then we'll work with 92 and 111 after that. That first-round pick will come for the New York Rangers in 2028. So like I said, we still have 80 and 92 to work with to get the guy that I want. It's a medium elite goalie, and then we'll have the next 92 and 111 to work with after that and see if there's anybody there that we want. Like I said, just not a whole lot of players in between these 2 picks that we had. So we'll hop back in here and grab this player that I starred. It's going to be Yakupov, medium elite potential goalie. Again, we probably don't need a goalie right now, but always good to have a backup coming up in the system, 55 overall. Next pick we have is at 92. Take a look around, see if anybody is from here to 92 that we want. At 92, we're going to take a swing on a guy who might be a low elite potential defenseman. Now, 6'5", he's already 20 years old, so not expecting a ton of him with the 4 years to the ETA, but could be a potential somebody who we can trade later on if he does have okay potential here. We'll take a swing here and see what we get. Low elite is right, 60 overall, so really not that bad. I don't expect him to make a big impact, if any impact at all, but always good to add a low elite potential here in the late third round. Next pick we have is 111, so we'll take a look around at 111, see if there's anybody else we want to take a swing at. At 111, our next swing will be more of a risky swing than the last one was. This guy only has 2 bars on low elite, but if he is a 6'3", 18-year-old, plays both sides, is a sniper. Again, we don't know a whole lot about him, but I'm going to swing and hope that he's a low elite here as well. Top 6 forward is not too bad, low potential, but not too bad to fall and miss the low elite, but I'll take that in the 4th round. That is going to wrap up our draft, so we will go ahead and take a look at our full draft class here. I think we made some pretty good picks for where we were. We didn't have very high picks, but Forsberg is a guy who's ready to play in the NHL this year if we need him, which we probably will. Helm is somebody who I think has good potential. Same thing with Yakupov as the goalie. And then a couple guys we took swings on a little bit later on that we didn't know a whole lot about. Turned out okay. Move on now to the re-sign period and see who we have to re-sign. Not a whole lot. I think just the backup goalie and maybe some older players. We do have some exciting coaches and scouts, so I'll go ahead and clean this up, but I'll see you guys in the re-sign page. $30 million in the re-sign period, and like I said, the really only skater that we have is Torrey Krug. He wants to be back. He's an 81 overall, 36-year-old defenseman. See what he wants. 2 years, a bit rich for me, but I'll go ahead and bump it down to 275 is fine with me. If we need to trade him, we can, but I do need to spend some money anyway, so why not? Slaggert is here as well as a young guy. I'll bring him back. He wants a 1-year deal. His RFA is up after this year, so he'll have a little bit of leverage, but I think that's fine. He's 25 years old already, only a top 9 medium potential, so it's not like he's a huge piece of our project moving forward. Forsberg, I'll go ahead and sign him. Like I said, 79 overall right out of the draft is not too bad for the 22nd overall pick, and he looks okay. Let's see, find him here. 18 years old, so it's not too bad. His ratings, he could use some improvement on his senses, his puck skills, but 3.5-star shot right out of the draft, not too bad. Same thing with physical. Skating isn't, it's not anything that's going to blow me out of the water, but for a power forward, I'll take this any day of the week at 22. A few more processes to clean up, but the big one here is on our backup goalie position, Soderblom. See what he wants. He's an 83, 27 years old. He only wants $800,000 for 2 years. If you bump him up to 3 years, he still only wants $1 million, so I'm not opposed to doing this. I think he's a guy that could be a backup for a while, still 27 years old. This will take him to 30. I will go ahead and just give him what he wants at 2 years because he is getting a little bit older at 27. I mean, that's not old, but this is a really cheap deal for a backup. I'll take that and run with it. Comiso, I think he's probably going to want a 1-year, one-way contract, and he's just not going to be the backup. Now, he does have starter medium potential, so I'll qualify him again. He might end up staying as our backup or being a trade piece. Probably won't have a ton of value at 24 years old. And that is really it for the goalies. Here's our rookie goalie that we drafted this year. I won't sign him yet. Just let him develop without that. Going to clean up the last of our AHL skaters here that need contracts. Sim forward a couple days, see if everybody that we offered signs. And then we'll move forward to the signing period. We'll have a ton of money that we need to spend, or else we will be at the cap floor going into next year, which you definitely don't want to do that. So we're going to sign these guys back, and I'll see you then. We are in the re-sign period now with $30 million, and this is a hell of a class. Quinn Hughes, $16 million is what he wants, but he is a 97 overall franchise defenseman at only 27 years old. Still has a lot of years left in him. God, he is absolutely loaded up with super abilities. I mean, I don't know if this is something I want to do, though. Offensive defensemen, we already have 2 of them at Korchinski and Levshunov, and our defense is signed so cheap right now. This would really blow that up, doing a $16 million defenseman. I don't know. Maybe. We have the money right now. That'll take like half of our space, though. Marty Necas is here. Very interested in Marty Necas as well. He plays center, right wing. We're kind of missing some right wing depth, and he could bring some stability to that side. Is a playmaker, 28 years old, so he is getting to the older side. Has a lot of abilities as well. Gold X Factor, zone ability is magnetic. I think he would pair perfectly with Connor Bedard. And I really do think this would be a huge improvement to our team. $12 million, a little steep for 91 overall. If you recall my Golden Knight series, I was able to get Jack Eichel for under 10 at like a 94 overall. That was re-signing him, though, so not on the open market. Leo Carlson's somebody I'm less interested in. At a 22-year-old, he is obviously a restricted free agent. A lot to give up to get him. Teuvo Teravainen actually kind of wants to be back. His organizational interest is pretty high. 32 years old at an 86 overall. 7.2 might be a little bit more than I'd be willing to offer him normally, but we have so much money, and he could be a flip piece for us later on as well. Fits in on that second line if we want to bring him in. Anders Lee is here. Pretty cheap option that we could bring in as somebody for some, depth, power forward, leadership. He's an older guy at 36, but I'm not opposed to that either. Zuccarello. Reinbacher's obviously a restricted free agent as well. Does only want 5.9, so he would fit in really well with what we're building is pretty cheap defensemen, but I don't think we could drag him away from the Canadians, though, so that would be tough to do, and I'm sure it'll be quite a bit of draft capital to give up to get him if he does sign. Drouin is here. Burakovsky's here. A lot of guys that we've had on our team before. Morgan Frost is here as well. I like Morgan Frost as a third-line option down the middle, but we have some pretty good center depth coming up right now, and I'm not sure I want to block that with 28-year-old Morgan Frost. Heineman is here as well, 83 overall at 25 years old. I'm not opposed to that. Still has top 6 medium potential. He's on the scoring line for the third line. Power forward, brings some size as well and some physicality. That is an option for us for sure. He is a UFA at only 25 years old. Mason Lohrei is an RFA, so I'll probably stay away from him. Evan Rodriguez, Kiviranta, Kopp, these are guys that I'm probably not super interested in right off the bat. But if we need to come back in and sign guys, we have plenty of money to do so. Looking at our forward depth, we really are missing a piece on the right side. Lafreniere could play there if we needed him to, but he's a natural left winger. After that, Nazar plays the right wing as well, but he's a natural center, and he is only an 84 overall right now. Third line scoring forward, so we need somebody up there with Connor Bedard feeding him pucks on the right side. Nyquist is 37 years old and 81, so we're missing somebody like that really badly on the right side. I just think it makes sense to bring in Marty Necas if we can, so we'll probably send an offer to Necas. We have a lot of money as well right now. Here is the deal we're going to try and swing for Marty Necas, and I might even up the money a little bit more. Right now, he only wants 12.3, but if we can get him at 13 million, we have plenty of money right now, and try and get a no-move clause that's reduced later on. So 5, 6, and 7 will be a 16-team no-trade clause, just a little bit of leverage, for a little bit of ability to move him if we need to. We do have guys that we need to sign contracts again in about 4 or 5 years, so this kind of lets us have that ability that if Necas at 33 years old is starting to regress, we can ship him out. So like I said, might even try to pump this up a little bit more on the money. We have so much right now, I'm not too worried about it. So here it is, a full $1 million more. We'll send that over. The other teams are interested, so I'm not sure that's going to be enough to sign him. Then the question becomes Quinn Hughes. I just don't think we can do it right now. But we're going to anyway, 16.1. I think that is a huge contract for a defenseman. No move clause. 97 overall, though. I mean, this is Quinn Hughes and Connor Bedard are probably enough to drag us to the playoffs every year by themselves and probably win us some series just on them alone. And if we can keep building a cheap team around him, then this could work. So we'll send that over as well. He has a lot of teams interested in him, so I'm not sure he'll sign with us, but why not? He is so good, 97 overall. We just can't not do it. And with those two deals, that is pretty much all of our cap space immediately sewn up between these two guys. So we're going to have to sim out a couple days and see if they accept before I offer anybody else. And Necas will accept our deal, so I really like this deal. It's a lot of money, no doubt, but he is really good right now, and I think that ability to be able to ship him out later on will pay huge for us if we do need to do that. Still waiting on Quinn Hughes, but he's going to go to Utah of all places. Happy for him, got an absolute bag in Utah, but that probably is for the best. I have a couple more guys that I've sent out two-way contracts to, but we'll hop back in now. We still have a lot of money, $17 million still to hop in here and do some damage and see if there's anybody we want to offer contracts to. I am going to the trade market to try and find a right D for this team. Braden Schneider is here, 85 overall, still only 25 years old. Good contract as well, 5.3 for 4 years is pretty good for a second-line defender. If he can get a little bit better, that would be great. 6'3" as well, pretty big. Looking to trade Gus Nyquist and a couple thirds. We have 3 third-round picks this year, so we have plenty of third-round picks. I don't need that many. Not quite there yet, but I'm going to add a little bit more in, maybe like a 5th-round pick. We have 2 of those. See if this gets it over the finish line. It does. That is our right D. That puts Bernard Docker on the third line where he fits a little bit better. That's a good pickup for us in terms. There just wasn't a lot of defensemen left on the market after Quinn Hughes was gone. Reinbacher's the only one, but it would be a 1st and a 3rd this year for him, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, that was it. We do have to pick up some more forwards. We are definitely low on forwards. Only 3 contract spots left. Probably fill them all up with forwards because our D looks okay right now. It's not the best D in the world. We're missing a little bit of top-line talent, but our guys should keep developing into that role, and I think we are getting close to competing possibly this year, looking at a playoff spot. I'm not sure we'll do much damage in the playoffs, but after that, this team's shaping up pretty well. Gonna offer Burakovsky to come back to the Blackhawks. 2-year deal for $3 million. Gonna send that over. Just a good scoring option for us. He immediately accepts. Looking now for probably two-way forwards and people who can play a little bit of defense for us down our lineup. We are pretty young, so we're lacking some of that defensive ability. Jason Zucker's here, 35 years old. Let's see, he wants only 1 year. Sure, why not? We have plenty of money to give out. Bump this up to like 2.2. Send that over. He immediately accepts. Going to keep looking on the wings now. Again, looking for a two-way winger. Let's see if there's anybody here. Cody Glass is a center, but, you know, he could probably play wing side if he needed to, but he's not great on the defensive side, only a 3-star. Novak is a 3.5 star. Not bad size, though. Not a bad option. I'm going to offer Heineman as well, just being 25 years old at 83 overall. 2.3 is fine. Still has a little bit of potential in him. Top 6 forward, medium, hasn't hit that yet. Power forward, 3.5 defense is fine for further down our lineup, and he has some good physicality to him. 4 stars there. Send that over to him, see if he accepts, and he does. So we're filling out pretty well now. Down to $9 million, probably just one more winger, and we might have to drop a contract if we can find somebody here that I really like. If not, though, this will be our team moving forward. We've added a lot of talent this offseason, and I'm pretty excited for what we can do. I think we're going to make a playoff run this year. I really do. And we did just trade away Comesso for a 3rd-round pick to the Panthers, just cleaning up our goalie situation a little bit. And I think that's it. Our team is looking pretty good right now, as good as a rebuilding team can. The elite talent we added this offseason in Marty Necas is really going to help. That playmaker, the elite playmaker of a 91 overall next to the elite sniper of Connor Bedard. You know, he led the league in goals last year. He might do that again this year. He is absolutely progressing really well at 21 years old. Looking for the defense to progress some more. Levshunov, Power, Korchinski, now with Braden Schneider on the right side. Not a bad top 4. Very young. Not a guy over 25 years old there. So good, locked up, very cheap. Excited to see what they can do. And our goalie situation's pretty good as well. Spencer Knight is up to a 90 overall and got a gold X Factor. So I'm looking for huge things out of Spencer Knight. He always progresses really well in this game, and he's doing so right now for us. At only 26 years old, and Soderblom, 83 overall, is a good backup on a really cheap deal. So, still have $10 million left to spend, but there is nobody else in free agency that I really want right now. That might be it for right now. We'll send forward to the beginning of the year. We'll take a look at our team and start pushing for that playoff position in year number 3. Before we get to the next season, Lukas Reichel does want a contract. 2 years, $3 million, I think is actually fine for a guy that is still only 25 years old. I would do longer-term deal here, but I think he just ups the money a little bit more, and I'd like to see him develop a little bit more before I offer him anything more than this. So we'll send this over to him. Hopefully he accepts right away, and he does. So that is another guy locked up long-term for us. 3 more years on his contract, including this year. Oliver Moore also wants a contract, 82 overall at 22 years old. Yeah, he shouldn't want a lot. I would be interested in locking him up probably for 3 years or so. Maybe doing like a $2 million deal here. Kind of time him around the rest of the guys, and this ends with that RFA status. So, again, I think this is fine for somebody who's going to keep getting better. He'll take a look at that and get back to us. Not interested in Torpachenko right now. Crevier also probably not interested in unless he is super cheap. Only wants $800,000. We'll go ahead and sign that. Again, he's a 7D option for us. Still could get better moving forward. So those are the guys I want. Send forward a couple days to see if Oliver Moore will sign that deal for us. And he will. Oliver Moore is back, so that's going to take care of that. Now we can sim forward to the regular season. Here are our lines going into year number 3. We have made some improvements, some big improvements, I would say, but we still have a little ways to go. Reichel, Bedard on the first line with Necas. I just think Reichel is probably the best fit right now on the left side. Didn't want to pair Lafreniere with Necas right out of the gate, being playmakers, both of them are. But I definitely could if we need some scoring power, if we need some more umph on that first line. Lafreniere, Nazar, and Moore on the second line. Nazar coming along nicely at an 85, only 23 years old still. Frondell will slot in, making his full season debut on the left side, an 82 overall. Pretty good. Not too bad at all. He'll be vying for that Calder trophy this year. Boisvert and Burakovsky on the third line. Boisvert can pass a little bit. His passing's pretty high. It's above a 90, so I'm excited about this combination on the third line, seeing what they got. Torpachenko, Zucker, and Heineman on the bottom pair. And we are lacking a centerman here, so I actually might swap out Zucker for, I think Slaggert is up right now. Yep, Slaggert. He can play center for us. Not high face-offs, but not too bad. Give him a little bit of a shot there, and Zucker will be our scratch player. Our chemistry definitely needs some work. Only 2-1, 2-1, but we'll work on that throughout the season. This is a team that I think can push for the playoffs as far as the forward group goes. The defense group, I think, is actually pretty good. Power and Levshunov on that first pairing, an 88 and an 89. Schneider and Korchinski on the second pairing. A good top four, good young top four. Vlasic and Bernard Docker on the third pairing, and then we will have two scratch defensemen. It's going to be Kaiser and Crevier as our 7D. Our goalies look pretty good as well. Spencer Knight up to a 90 overall. Soderblom a backup at 83. Not bad at all. This is what the team looks like. Like I said, not anything going to be, the best team in the league, but we should compete for a playoff spot this year, and I'm really excited to see what this new pairing of Natchez and Bedard can do on our forward group. We will now sim out to the trade deadline. Again, looking to be competitive. Excited to see what this year brings. Before we get to the trade deadline, I want to look at some contracts on guys that are progressing pretty well. Boisvert here at an 85 overall already at 21 years old. I want to try and lock him up for a while. His asking price for 5 years is 5.5. He only wants 2 years on the deal. Gonna throw in a no move clause on year number 5. That's the first year he's eligible for one. And I just really want to try and lock this guy up. I think he's gonna continue to progress. His stats look great, especially on the third line right now. He's doing really well. So I'm gonna send that over. Hopefully he accepts because I do want to lock him up a while. The other guys, Slaggert, Toropchenko, Zucker, I don't really think we need to do right now. And goalies are good as well. So that's really the only guy I want to do as we head towards the trade deadline. Just want to get him locked up before he keeps progressing even more. Boisvert is back for a long time. I think this is a guy that projects more on our second, maybe even first line if he keeps progressing the way he does. But yeah, we'll keep sending now to the trade deadline. We're looking pretty good right now. 26, 13, and 2. Third in the division, so a few games back from the Avalanche and the Stars. But we got a game coming up against the Stars. And another one next month as well as we head towards the trade deadline. Day before the trade deadline, and we are at 35, 21, and 5, fourth in the division, so a wild card spot right now. It looks like the Jets, Avalanche, and Stars are pretty firmly at 1, 2, and 3. We are having a pretty good year, though. I mean, not bad at all. I think our team actually is looking pretty good. Let's take a look now at our stats right now. I think there's just some guys I want to highlight. Connor Bedard at 77 points is leading our team. The big one here I want to highlight is Frondell. 41 points. That should be good enough for first in the league in terms of rookie scoring and in terms of Calder voting as well. He should lead the pack at 41 points. That's over Gavin McKenna at 37, Andrew Cristal at 34. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. Only has 9 goals on the year, but 32 assists. He's a plus 19. All the other guys here, all the way down to Kisakov, are negatives. So plus 19 is great for a rookie. I also want to show our lines and show some of the progression. So I did move Boisvert up to the second line with Nazar and Lafreniere. He's just doing really good this year, and we just signed him to a big extension. That puts Oliver Moore down at the third line center spot. I think that's a fine spot for him with Frondell and Burakovsky. Toropchenko, Slager, and Hireman are going to be our fourth line still. Defense is unchanged. Levshunov, though, up to a 90 overall now, so he's progressing really well still. And the goalies stay pretty much the same. Knight at a 90, Soderblom at an 83. On the AHL side, this is where it gets interesting. We have some guys that are definitely ready to come up. Forsberg was our first-round pick last year. He is ready to come up as an 80 overall. And Newble, our second-round pick in 2026, he had low elite. He was the gym. Already an 82 overall. He's ready to make an impact on our team as well. So we definitely have some pieces to ship out. I'm thinking probably Toropchenko, potentially as well. We can see about Jason Zucker and bring a couple of those guys up. And then I think the big upgrade we're looking for at the trade deadline, if there's not any young, good, controllable players available, is an upgrade at the 7D position. We just have a couple of younger guys that are just not good enough for this team to be 7D. But other than that, maybe if there's a high-quality left wing, but Frondell, I think, is on track right now to win the Calder, and that will upgrade his potential and give him a little bit of a boost. And I really like the way he's looking right now, already an 83 at 20 years old. I think he slots in pretty well up at the top pretty soon. Maybe even later this year we might give him a shot because he is the same overall now as Lucas Reichel. So that is a potential. We move him up and let him play on that first line and get some scoring in, get some experience with those boys. But I think the team's progressing well. We might not compete for a Stanley Cup this year. We should make the playoffs, but I think we are well on our way to being a dominant team in the league. We'll jump now into the trade deadline and get this underway. First things first, shipping out Torbachenko. Going to try and do a 4th round pick from the Winnipeg Jets next year. Not quite. We'll make that a 5th round pick and pick him up. There we go. And that should be enough. All right, now I'm going to use that 5th round pick, and I'm actually going to try and flip it and Zucker for a higher value pick and see what we can get back. Zucker and a 5th to the Colorado Avalanche for a 3rd round pick. That will call up Newble, and that is good. That is a guy, he's 82 overall. He's ready to play right now. Now, I think the next move I'm going to be looking for is that depth defender. Somebody looking at an 80 overall, but I was looking through our lineup, and we actually have somebody down in the AHL. Kuzman here. He is an 80 overall, so he could come up. He plays both sides. 24 years old, 2-way defender. It might just be the best option we have, and we don't have to give anybody up for him. Take a look around, though. He is lacking a little bit of physicality, and I do kind of want to bring some more physicality to this team. I might take a peek around and see if there's anybody maybe we can switch out Bernard Docker for at an 82 overall, somebody on our 3rd pairing that brings a little more physicality than a 3.5 star. Maybe we're looking for like a 4 or 4.5 even. Going to take a swing at Brandon Carlo. It's going to be a big deal. Bernard Docker, Gustafson's a prospect, 2/3 and a 5th. Brandon Carlo is just a big physical guy. He has really high physicality, which I want to add to this team. Defensive defenseman, plays the right side just like Bernard Docker. He is older as well, adds a little bit of experience to our back end. 5.8 is a little pricey for a 3rd pair defenseman, but when the rest of your defense is so cheap, we can make this work. And he has no trade clauses on here, so if we need to ship him out later on, we can. I'm going to send all this over, see if it is enough to prime away. And it is. Brandon Carlo, big improvement. Our defense is looking pretty good now. That was like our weakest link, was that right bottom pair guy. Looking pretty good now. We'll scroll through here again and take a look, but we really have traded away everybody that I wanted to right now for this year. And I'm not really selling anymore. We're competing, so I want to make sure that we keep this window open as long as possible, but start this year, start pushing pretty hard. That was it for trade deadline day. So our team's going to look like this after the trade deadline. Frondell, Bedard, Natchez on that first line still. Relatively unchanged here on the foregroup until you get down to the bottom, where Newble and Slager will slot in. On the defensive side, that's the biggest change in terms of just overalls. Owen Power and Levshunov on the first line still. Schneider, Korchinski on the second line. Carlo and Vlasic on the 3rd line. So this is a formidable decor now. We looked at a little bit more upgrade on the top lines. Maybe Owen Power up to like an 89 or a 90 would be really nice. But Carlo on the 3rd line is crazy depth. And these guys are big guys. 6'6" for Vlasic, 6'5" for Carlo. Both defensive defensemen. Hard line to play against. Need to work on the chemistry a little bit with this team, so I'm going to go jump into that. But we are ready for that playoff push. Everything's kind of lining up really nicely right now. Here we are at the end of the regular season. We ended up with 103 points, good enough for 4th in the division, 49, 28, and 5th. A pretty strong division this year. The Stars at 128, Avalanche at 117, and Jets at 114. Going to take a look at the entire league now, see where we stack up. Panthers are going to win the President's Trophy at 129, Stars 128, Maple Leafs 122, Avalanche, Jets round out the top 5, and we are going to finish ourselves at number 9. So not a bad year, in the first wild card, and I think we had a pretty successful season. Gonna take a look at our points and our stats for the year. Connor Bedard will lead our team with 102 points in 79 games, missed a few games at the end of the season. We'll finish with 60 goals and 42 assists, a really good year out of 22-year-old Connor Bedard once again. Marty Natchez at 89 points in 82 games, 70 assists for Marty Natchez, good year out of him as well. Lafreniere had a great year, 85 points in 82 games on the second line, over a point per game. Boisvert had a great year as well, 63 points in 82 games, over 30 goals for him at his 22-year-old season. Just signed into a good extension, so I'm excited to see what he does. Oliver Moore had a great year, 63 points in 80 games. Nazar, 57. Frondell, his rookie season, put up 56 points, 39 assists, 17 goals. I would imagine that is up at the top, towards the top of the Calder race. Levshunov, 54 points in 82 games. Good year out of him as well, and he's actually up to a 91 overall now, so really good year. I think Lafreniere also up to a 91, so Lafreniere might have to get bumped up to the first line in these playoffs. He's been playing really well. Burakovsky had a good year, 46 points in 82 games. Reichel 44 in 82. Korchinski 43, a big, good step up from Korchinski from last year, over half a point per game now. Still lacking on the goals, only 8. Owen Power at 9 goals, 36 points in 82 games. Not too bad. And that is really it. I mean, everybody else is kind of as expected, but I think a really good year. Good balance, scoring attack. Obviously, Connor Bedard led the way, but Nate just on that first line, Lafreniere on the second line. These guys were putting up points really, really well. 3 guys over a point per game. I'll take that every single season. Looking at our goalie, Spencer Knight on the year, only an .898 and a .276. Did pick up 41 wins, though. 4 shutouts. Looks like Soderblom in the backup role, 8 wins in 23 games. Not very good out of him, .898 as well and a .307. So our goalie struggled a little bit this year in terms of save percentage and goals against, but Spencer Knight, one of the most winning goalies in the league. Going to take a look at the entire league now and see the stats. Nathan MacKinnon will lead the league, 127 points. Barkov at 126, Jason Robertson 122, Kachuk at 119, and Rantanen 117 right out the top 5. A lot of point scoring again this year, 116 for Kucherov, Matthews 114. Leading the league in goals, it's going to be Nathan MacKinnon, put up 82 goals. Nathan MacKinnon went absolutely nuclear this year, 98 overall. Really great year out of Nathan MacKinnon. I guess he didn't need Marty Necas feeding him pucks. Great year out of MacKinnon. Barkov 64, Matthews 62. Bedard ended up with 60 goals. That's going to put him at 6 in the league, so not too bad. I'll take 6th every day. 42 assists as well for him, so good year. That is going to be it for the skaters. Going to take a look now at the goalies for the season. Mackenzie Blackwood was your most winning goalie on the year, 48 wins, put up a .912, a .267. Good year out of Blackwood, but I mean, Nathan MacKinnon putting up 80 goals will help that for sure. Bobrovsky at 47 wins at 39 years old, a .911 and a .257. Ottinger, the Vezina Trophy winner last year, 46 wins, a .910 and a .266. A solid year out of Ottinger. Hellebuck at a .922 and a .240. Looks like the best save percentage in the top 5. Stolarz did put up a .929 and a .198. Wow. Stolarz had a great year, 37 wins. That's going to be probably your Vezina Trophy winner if it's not a Hellebuck. And our first round matchup in the playoffs this year actually is going to be the San Jose Sharks. 2 rebuilding teams in 2025, going into 2026 now, are going to make the playoffs in 2028 and face each other in the first round. This is a good storyline. We'll go ahead and take the first 3 games through Sim, see where we end up. Game number 1 will be an overtime win, game number 2 a regulation win, and game number 3 a regulation win, 6-4 on that one. Pretty high scoring at the end there, but that is going to be a 3-0 lead going into game number 4. Can we close it out in a sweep in round 1? We cannot. Overtime loss against the Sharks. Going to go to game 5 now, hoping to close it out soon. And that'll do it. An overtime win. We'll close out round 1 against the Sharks, taking that one in a 4-1 series. Going to fast forward a couple days now, see who we face in the second round. Our second round opponent will be the Vancouver Canucks. They also won their series 4-1, so we'll take the first 3 games through Sim, see how we end up. We end up losing the first 2 games pretty badly, 5-2, 8-2, but we come back in game number 3. Let's see if we can take game number 4 and tie this series up. And we can. 4-2 win in game number 3, 4-2 win in game number 4, and a 4-1 win in game number 5. Going through game 6 now, can we close this out, or will the Vancouver Canucks force a game 7? They will not. But we have a big news. Oliver Moore with an MCL sprain, so we're going to have to replace him in the lineup. This year in the conference finals, we will take on the Dallas Stars. Going to in the first 3 games, but really happy to be in the conference finals in year number 3 of this rebuild. We're going to take game number 2, and we're going to lose game number 3. So 4-2 win in game 1, 2-1 win in game number 2, 4-3 loss in game 3. Big game 4 here. This would be huge to go up 3-1 on the series. And we do. On the cusp now of going to the Stanley Cup final in year number 3. We will lose the next game, and it looks like Colton Dach is also injured. He was our replacement for Oliver Moore. So going to have to come back in here again, sub him out. We're getting a little thin in the depth positions now. Let's see. We don't have anybody available now. We're going to have to make a roster move to call somebody up to play forward for us. It'll also be our 2026 second round pick, Dale Bois. He's going to come in as a black ace, 80 overall, slotting on the 3rd line. I think that is it for right now. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop back into the playoffs now. So we did end up losing that last game, so it's a 3-2 series going into game number 6. Will the Stars force a game 7? They will not. Stanley Cup finals for the Chicago Blackhawks in year number 3. We're going to go ahead and send the first 3 games against the New York Rangers. We lost the first game 4-3, won game 2 4-3, and lost 4-1. Big game number 4 here. This would be, we do not want to fall down into a 3-1 hole. Colton Dock is back. I'm going to go ahead and just continue. I think Dale Bois is fine for that line. We ended up winning 5-4, so we tie it up. This is going to be a huge Game 5, so we're going to go ahead and watch it on the Super Sim, see if we can't jump in if we need to. Here we are in the Sim. 18 minutes left to go in the first period. Not a lot's happened so far. We're going to keep an eye on this game, make sure we don't need to jump in and try and win ourselves a Stanley Cup. Big goal by JT Miller on Spencer Knight is going to be midway through the first period, 14 minutes left. But Lafreniere is going to get one right back for us at 12 minutes. Now a power play for the Hawks. Long power play here, but we can't score on it. The Rangers will kill it off. Approaching 6 minutes left, we have 14 shots and they only have 9. So we are outshooting them a little bit as we approach 2 minutes left to go in the first period. Into the first as we go on to the second period now. Nazar is going to get a huge goal early in the second. 18 minutes left to go on Shesterkin. That will put us up 2-1 with more than half of the game left. Power play again for the Hawks. And we can't score on that one either. The New York Rangers are having a good penalty kill game. But Newble, the rookie, will get a long goal almost at the blue line on Shesterkin. That'll put us up 3-1. Approaching 2 minutes and shots are 28-15. So we are out shooting them pretty heavily right now. 29 now. As we're at the end of the second period. I'm going to go ahead and sim into the third period. 2-goal lead. Hopefully we can close this one out. 14 minutes left to go in the game, and Burakovsky's going to give us another cushion, 4-1 now. Looks like a pretty sharp angle, and then Heineman right after that at 12 minutes. The Rangers will have a power play, looking to answer, but they're down 4 goals now, and they cannot answer. We will kill it off. Under 10 minutes, about 7 minutes left to go in the game, and we have a 4-goal lead. This is pretty commanding. This should be a win in game number 5 for the Hawks, and we'll push the Rangers to the brink of elimination in game 6. And that will do it. It did end up being 5-1. Really good game out of the Hawks to take a series lead here. So I'm going to move forward one more game, and we are going to watch this one, of course, because this could be a Stanley Cup winning game for us. Underway now in game number 6, and the Rangers have an early power play. They are not going to score on it. We will kill it off, but quickly after that, Moore is going to get a shot pretty far out on Spencer Knight, and it's going to sneak through him for a goal. First goal of the game does go to the Rangers. Second goal of the game will also go to the Rangers. Tyler Bertuzzi is going to get another pretty deep shot on Spencer Knight as the Rangers take a 2-0 lead. Under 10 minutes left to go in the first period now. Under 5 minutes now as we approach the end of the first. Still a 2-0 lead for the Rangers, and they're going to take that into the second. With 1 second left to go in the first period, JT Miller will put the Rangers up by 3 on the power play. We'll go ahead and sim into the second period now, but this is looking like the Rangers are going to control this game and force a game 7. 13 minutes left to go in the second, and Gareth Hathaway will put another goal on. That's 4 goals unanswered for the Rangers. They're making a statement here that they're not going home today. They could push this game to a game number 7. 4 goals would be pretty crazy to come back from. Power play for the Hawks, though. Can we get it started? We cannot. The Rangers will hold on the penalty kill as we approach the end of the second period, down by 4. Make that 5. Moore will score again on Spencer Knight. So rough game for Spencer Knight. They might end up pulling him going into the third. The final ended up being 8-0, a absolute clinic by the Rangers to force Game 7. Momentum's in their favor, but we have a resilient young team. Hopefully, we can take this one home in game number 7. Underway in the sim for Game 7, and the first goal will be JT Miller. Once again, the Rangers will take an early lead in the first period. Power play for the Hawks, though, would be nice to answer here and get one back, but we can't do it. The Rangers hold again, and now they have a power play. And we'll kill that one off as well. Good penalty kills so far in this series. I think we've only had 1 power play goal. And Bedard will tie it up. Looks like a left circle shot from Bedard will sneak through Shesterkin. Under 5 minutes left to go in the first period now. And we are tied at 1-1. Right before the end of the first, Moore will score another goal. This one another point shot it looks like that gets through Spencer Knight. So the Rangers will have a 2-1 lead going into the second period. Certainly not an insurmountable lead. We can tie this one up with 1 shot. And we will on the power play. And Bedard will get it done. Really tight angle in close, ties it up. Another power play here, and Boisvert will score from the circle. Rangers have another power play right after that, but we kill it off. That's 2 power play goals in the second period for us to take a 1-goal lead. Under 5 minutes now in the second period, we are still holding that at that 1-goal lead, but JT Miller scores super tight angle, and that will tie it up at 3-3, likely going into the third period. Into the third now. At about 5 or so minutes, if we're still tied or if we're down, we'll go ahead and jump into this game. We'll probably just watch it if it's tied, but we'll play it if we're down. But we'll be up. Connor Bedard gets the hat trick goal in Game 7, a legendary performance out of him. Power play for the Hawks, a huge insurance goal here if we can get one. We cannot. The Rangers will kill that one off. They already allowed 2 power play goals in the game. I guess a third wasn't in the cards for them. Under 10 minutes left to go now. We're going to slow the sim down a little bit so we can jump in about 5 minutes if we are still leading by 1, so we can hopefully watch the celebration. Under 3.5 minutes now. We have 38 shots to their 25. We are up a goal, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in and watch this game and see if we can close this one out. And then we'll watch the celebration as hopefully we hoist the Stanley Cup. Here we are, under 3 minutes now. Natchez will create the turnover, and he'll take it back up the ice. But another turnover by him, this one time Perreault. Over to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi down low. Big save by Knight, and it kicks all the way to the blue line. Adam Fox now. Miller with a spin-around shot. Good glove save by Knight. Natchez with a good move. Takes it outside to Bedard. Big blocker save by Shesterkin, and it gets kicked behind the net. Miller's going to cross the blue line with it, get angled off pretty hard there by the defenseman. Natchez takes a huge hit. His stick goes flying up in the air. Levshunov to the red line, now over to Boisvert. Boisvert cuts to the inside, gets it poked off his stick. Cooley now will take over. He tries to go for the stretch pass, but Levshunov picks it off. Out to Boisvert. Boisvert circles around, looking for a lane. 2 Blackhawks run into each other, but it gets to the middle of the net. Picked up by Borgen and skated out. Trocheck takes it off. It gets hit by that loose stick in our zone. It's going to be taken over by Levshunov. He's going to go all the way across the ice to Frank Nazar. He carries it in. Lafreniere with the shot. It looks like Shesterkin just kept that one out with the leg. Korchinski now. It's going to be a one-timer, big one-timer from Lafreniere, but Shesterkin holds. 1:26 left to go in the game. The Rangers are going to have to pull their goalie pretty soon. Down a goal. And there it is, the Stanley Cup being unveiled. This will be a home victory for us. Will be a huge win for the Blackhawks in this rebuild. Up to the blue line now as he skates in the opposite zone. Holds up, spins around. Schneider's going to get it down deep, and there's going to be a penalty on the Rangers. They're going to take a slashing. So Will Borgen, bad time for, maybe the worst time for a penalty you can have. 50 seconds left to go in Game 7, down a goal. So the Blackhawks will go on the power play. This is a huge opportunity for us, not even just to get an extra goal, but just to run time off the clock and close this game out. Adam Fox will try and skate this puck out. They're going to have to try and pull the goalie still and have some offense on the penalty kill. Adam Fox saves it down the right-hand side into Brisson, gets a good shot away, kicked out and then cleared away by the defenseman. Adam Fox now again deflects off of boots and goes wide. Lafferty tries to go out in front, but picked off by the rookie Frondell. Fox will just dump it in. We are at 18 seconds left to go in the game. Pinned up against the boards, up to Nazar. They create a turnover. Nazar gets shoved off, eventually picked up by the Blackhawks, up to Frondell. 8 seconds left to go as he skates it out. Across the blue line, he gets it thrown away. Can't get the empty net, but it kicks to the corner. We're at 1, and the Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions once again. Year number 3 of the rebuild, and we get it done. And there it is. Chicago Blackhawks are your Stanley Cup champion. Anton Frondell likely won the Calder Trophy, as he did. And he did, so his potential will go up and some stat boost as well. Let's take a look at the playoff stats for a terrific run for the Chicago Blackhawks in the playoffs. Connor Bedard did leave our team, 29 points in 24 games, 18 goals. We saw some big ones, the hat trick in Game 7. Wonderful performance out of him. Lafreniere, 22 points in 24 games. Natchez with 21 in 24. Boisvert, 18 points in 24 games. Burakovsky had a really good performance as well as a 33-year-old, 17 points in 24 games. Owen Power led our defense, 13 points in 24 games. Nazar, 13 as well. Korchinski, 13 as well. Frondell in his rookie campaign put up 11 points in 24 games in the playoffs, followed by Levshunov at 10. Taking a look at our goalie performance, Spencer Knight really stepped up in the playoffs, a .909 and a .283. He was your Stanley Cup winning goalie. And for the entire league, Bedard did lead the playoffs with 29 points in 24 games. Austin Matthews had a ridiculous playoffs, 27 points in 16 games, but they didn't even make it to the finals. Adam Fox at 25 points in 23 games had a really good performance again out of him as a defender. Will Coley, really good performance out of Will Coley, 23 points in 23 games for the 26-year-old. JT Miller put 22 in 23. Lafreniere, against his former team, put up 22 points in 24 games. And we'll take a look at the goalies. Spencer Knight, of course, was your Stanley Cup winning goalie, 16 wins, a .909 and a .283. Shesterkin had a better playoffs, 14 wins, a .921 and a .262. Solars had a great regular season and a great playoffs as well, a .923 and a .256. Andre with a .917 and a .250, and Demko will round out the top 5 at a .924 and a .254 goals against. Taking a look at awards, and of course the Stanley Cup was hoisted by the Chicago Blackhawks, but McKinnon won the Art Ross, of course. He had 80 goals, as well as the Hart Trophy. Norris will go to Cale Makar Lady Bing's going to go to Nikita Kucherov. Calder will go to Anton Frondell. Conn Smythe to Connor Bedard, hopefully the first of his long career. Vezina Trophy is going to go to Anthony Stolars. William Jean also to Stolars. Bill Masterson will go to Colton Parenko. Jack Adams to Lindy Ruff in Calgary. Selke is going to go to Robert Thomas for the third year in a row. Ted Lindsay to Nathan MacKinnon. And the Rocky Richard also to McKinnon. Huge year for Nathan MacKinnon, cleans up, well as the Colorado Avalanche, getting 5 awards for the regular season. But the big one was the Stanley Cup, and that was all ours. And that'll wrap up season number 3, but that will not be the end of our rebuild. We are looking to make a dynasty out of this team. We have a ton of great contracts, a ton of up-and-coming players, and we're going to keep rolling. Our team is looking absolutely stacked moving forward. Levshunov up to a 91, Natchez a 92, Bedard a 95. So we're going to go ahead and get prepared for the draft in year number 4. Going to re-sign some contracts as well, and we'll go into the offseason looking to repeat as Stanley Cup champions. Year number 4, we'll kick off with the draft. And we have some picks here. Despite winning the Stanley Cup champion, we actually have 2 first-round picks. First is at 22nd overall. I'll go ahead and show you guys the full arsenal that we have here. It's going to be 22 and 31 in the first round, 64, 91, 128, 159, and 224. So almost a full arsenal of picks. We're just missing a 6th-round pick, and we have 2 first. So I think that's a lot of draft capital to have for a team that just won the Stanley Cup and has made the trades that we have. So we're going to go ahead and take a look around. I do have some players already on my board that I think really are good players, and I'm actually looking at moving up from number 22, probably somewhere in the 11 range. So try and get that done. We'll show you guys a draft class, show you who I'm targeting, and we'll get this draft taken care of. A lot of good players have gone in the top of this draft, an 83 at number 1, an 83 at number 4, but we're actually targeting a player at number 13. It's going to be a defenseman. His name is Rick Donald. He just has really good stats. I mean, A shooting, A minus puck skills, A minus senses, A minus skating, A minus physical. He's really well rounded. Only 5'11", 182, but has shutdown ability, heavy slap shot as his strengths. This is a good player. We could probably bury him a little bit in our, AHL team to let him develop without having to come up immediately. But I really like Rick Donald here. He looks very good. So I'm going to look to move up from 22 up to number 11. The other players I'm looking at with pick number 31, that was the New York Rangers pick that we beat in the Stanley Cup. There's really not anybody right around 30, 30 to 34. But at 36, we have Jackson Howard. He is a top 6 forward, medium potential. Good skating ability for a power forward. Good shot. Good physicality. He's pretty big at 6'1". 1 year away. I think this is probably our pick. I could move down a few slots and try and pick up, a little bit of capital there, and maybe use that to move up to number 13 or so to get the other guy. And then there's some gems later on in the draft that we'll get to, but that's my move for the first round. I'm going to get that taken care of. 31 and 159, we'll send over to the Ottawa Senators to get a 35th overall pick and a 4th round pick this year as well. Now, I'm going to try and package that 4th round pick to move up to 11 or 12 probably to get my player that I'm looking at. Here's the deal to go up to the St. Louis Blues to move up to 13th overall from 22nd. It'll be that 22nd overall pick, 64 this year, a 3rd and a 4th next year, and then a 4th prospect. So a lot of value for the Blues to move up, and they will accept that. So that puts us in line to draft our defenseman that we're looking at. And we'll go ahead and sim forward to that pick. And he's the next guy off the board, so we'll go ahead and select him. Looking for big numbers here. Yeah, 79 overall already, top 4 D medium potential. Like I said, I'll probably bury him in the AHL for at least a year or so and let him develop, but another big piece on the prospect side for us. Our next pick is at 35. Again, targeting, it's going to be Howard at that position. He is a forward. At 35, Jackson Howard will be the pick, like I mentioned before, center. He's going to be a 72 overall out of the draft, another good piece for us in the prospect pool. Our next pick is at 91. There are some guys that I want to target beforehand, so let me set that up, and we'll maybe have to move up to get one of them. To move up to 47, we are going to have to give up a medium elite goalie prospect that we probably just don't need right now, and a 4th round pick. This might not be enough to actually get it done. It is. So they'll send that over. That's going to put us in position to draft a really good player at 47 overall as well. And it will be Antti Taipalus. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he's a center, 17 years old only, so very young. Low elite potential, 6'2", has really good ratings for a 17-year-old. A shooting in a power forward is always a good sign. So we'll go ahead and take him. He's only 1 year out. Probably bury him in the AHL as well. 72 overall. Next pick is at 91, and we have a target there as well. Our target at 91 will be Quentin Whitney, a medium elite potential offensive D. He's a little ways out, needs 4 years, and he's 20 years old already, but medium elite potential in this point in the draft, in the 3rd round, I think is really good. Only a 58 overall, but good potential there. Now we'll send forward to 99. Have another target here at 99 as well. 99th pick will be Mateo Burkhoff. He is another offensive D on the left side, but he's only 17 years old, so a lot younger. Undersized for sure, 5'9", and not very good ratings, but he is a gem, and medium elite potential is always great, so picking him up as well. He's even lower at a 48, so these are prospects for the future for sure. But we're loaded right now, so we really don't need another guy competing at this very moment. And our last pick in the draft is a 7th round pick. I'm going to let the computer take that one. I'm not too interested in 7th round picks. So that will be it for us. We got a lot of good players here. A lot of them are for the future. No doubt some of them need some development, but the potentials are there. I think everybody is ready to roll on our team right now, and these are key guys that can come in the future and replace these guys as they age out. Sim forward now to the re-sign phase. We have a couple scouts, a couple coaches, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll see what kind of contracts we need to hand out for our current players. We really don't have a lot of players that need to be re-signed. We only have $3 million in cap space, so a big difference from before as I sign some of our draft picks here. But we really don't have a lot of guys as we're locking people up pretty early. Slaggart's really the only guy. He's a 77 overall. He was up to an 80 overall during the season. We'll see what he wants. I wouldn't be opposed to keeping him around just as a depth guy. Yeah, two-way deal. I'll go ahead and sign that for him. That is fine. Other than him, just some AHL guys. Our goalies are still locked up. At least for one more year on Soderblom at $800,000, and then obviously Spencer Knight is still locked up long term. Still only 27 years old. That is crazy young. Next year will be a little more difficult for us as we have a couple of bigger names due for contracts. So it'll look like Frondell, Burakovsky probably ends up going, Nazar. Those are the two guys. So we'll have to balance between Frondell and Nazar. And that might be a little expensive for us. So we'll have to balance our checkbook pretty tightly moving forward. As we move towards free agency, I'm going to go ahead and take care of some contracts on our end for next year. Anton Frondell is here. He wants 5 years for 5.1. I threw in a no move clause in year number 5, and it brought his total down a little bit. So 4.65 for a guy that I think can be on our first line as a really good option for us. I think that's a steal moving forward. So I'm going to send that over to him, and hopefully he's back. He immediately accepts, so that's good management there. The next guy was Nazar. And we only have $7 million in cap space next year, so I'll have to see what Nazar wants. 85 overall. I'm seeing Boisvert and Moore at an 87 overall, so those are really good. But Nazar, let's see what he wants. And we actually only have 1.8 for extension dollars remaining next year, so Nazar's a guy we'll have to be careful with. I do still want to bring him back, potentially just clear up cap space next year in the re-sign period, but 5.4 is really not a bad deal for him, so maybe we try and make something happen now and clear up a little bit of space to sign that deal and see if there's anybody that has contracts for next year. My immediate thought is Brandon Carlo. At 31 years old, he's still good, an 86, but 5.8 is kind of exactly what we need to bring back a top forward. So is there somebody cheaper, maybe even in our system? Is Torres ready? Not quite, still only a 77. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to maybe play around with that, but I'd like to bring Nazar back for that value. He's a really good scoring option. But looking at the free agency class this year, this is a class that we really don't have a lot of money to play around in, but it would have been nice to. Will Smith is here. He leads the top of the class, a 91. He is an RFA with the Sharks, so I would imagine they ended up bringing him back. Only wants 12.5. I say only, but that's not a bad deal for a 91, 23-year-old. Clayton Keller's here at 29. He also wants 12.9-ish for 7 years. Korchinski is here, would be a really good defensive option, but just can't afford him. He wants 12.4 for 6 years. Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Strome, Roslovic is still hanging around. Really good overall for Roslovic at an 88 at 31 years old. Laferriere is here as well, an 87 at 26. Really good progression out of him. He is still an RFA as well. Sean Durzee's here at 6.8 for 5 years. Probably not an option for us. I am kind of just looking for, is there a defenseman who kind of replaces Carlo on that bottom line for a cheaper cost? And I'm not sure there is. Kind of a weird deal with the Dallas Stars. Brandon Carlo and a 4th-round pick for Kesselring. This only saves us a little over $1 million. I guess every cent counts right now. But Kesselring is just younger. He's 1 overall worse at an 85 compared to Carlo's 86. But at 28 years old, the thing I like about him is he's a two-way defender as opposed to Carlo's defensive defenseman. Not that Carlo was bad. He obviously won a Stanley Cup with us. But I just like Kesselring a little bit more at the age and at the price. So I'm going to try and send this over and see if they will accept it just a bit low. We'll throw in maybe a 7th round pick this year and get this taken care of. Again, that just saves us a tiny bit of money and makes us a little bit younger on the back end. And unfortunately, it is time for Alex Vlasic to go. 4.9 for the next 2 years at an 83 overall. I like the kid. 6'6", obviously was really nice for us on the back end with the defensive defenseman, but he just really doesn't fit the line. His chemistry there is not good. And Nick Hague, he's pretty much the same overall at 83, 6'6" as well. A little bit older for sure. And he's on a 1-year deal, so that's a big thing. His expiring deal this year lets us have some space next year, and we should have some guys coming up. We have Torres. When we have some guys coming up in the AHL, they can play defense for us. So it shouldn't be hard to replace this on the third pairing, but we're just not getting any worse. We're just freeing up some money next year for Nazar and sending over a 6th-round pick, and we're getting a little bit better chemistry on that bottom pair. And by freeing up that money, that allows us to offer Frank Nazar a 5-year extension at 4.7. He does want 5.4, throwing a modified no-trade clause for him. Send that over to him, and hopefully he accepts that. We'll send forward a couple days, but that's a good offer for him. If we can sign him to that deal, I'd be very happy. And Nazar is back, so 5-year deal for Nazar. Big goal scorer on the second line for us, and our team's looking pretty much the same. We did have to rework that third pairing a little bit, got a little bit cheaper, and really didn't get that much worse. Better chemistry as well, so that might also help us out. We'll go ahead and send forward now to the next season. These free agents are going to be out of our range, still 3.6, but we just don't need anybody. Our team is pretty much set for the next season. Here we are for year number 4. The chemistry after winning the Stanley Cup did go up a little bit. Still not fantastic, but the team does look fantastic. Frondell, Bedard, Natchez on the first line. A really good first line. Bedard 95, Natchez up to a 94. Nazar, Boisvert, and Lafreniere on that second line. A +3 chemistry there. Lafreniere up to a 90 overall. Boisvert up to an 87, and Nazar an 85. Bois, Moore, and Burakovsky will be on the third line. A really good third line. The center depth on this team is ridiculously good. Lucas Reichel on the fourth line in 85 overall with Newell, and Ethan Belchetz will make his debut on the left side at an 81 overall. The 20-year-old looking to make an impact towards the bottom of the lineup. The defense is looking good as well. Owen Power and Levshunov on the first pair. Schneider and Korchinski, so an unchanged top 4 from last year. And then the reworked bottom pair, Nick Hague and Kesselring, looking pretty good as well. The chemistry on the defensive side is pretty good with a +4 on the second line, +3 on the first line. Would like to see Korchinski and Levshunov and probably Owen Power continue to improve, maybe developing a gold X factor at some point. Spencer Knight at a 90 and Soderblom at an 83 are our goalies. Soderblom on the last year of his deal, so we'll have to be mindful of that. Maybe move him for a another backup here in the future. But Spencer Knight has that gold X factor. He has been very good for us. Looking for a big season out of him. But this team is good. This should be one of the best teams in the league and poised to go back-to-back with the Stanley Cup. And I just had to jump in to check out our ratings, and we are a 99 on offense, a 92 on defense, and an 89 on goal. I think is a little bit low, but 99 on offense is great to see. Not even the Oilers are a 99. Here at the trade deadline, and we are the best team in the league at 98 points. The next best team is actually the Toronto Maple Leafs at 91 points, so we're far and away the best team. We'll hop now into the trade deadline, but the way our team is rolling right now, I really don't know if we want to make any trades that do really disrupt any of the chemistry or the way we've been rolling. Connor Bedard is injured. He's kind of been dealing with a little bit of injury issues. We'll go ahead and just replace the player right now. Lucas Reichel's back as well. So we'll continue. I'll deal with the lines after we get in with the trade deadline here. We will be a buyer, but like I said, not looking to shake up a whole ton. Maybe just a backup goalie since Soderblom is entering the last year of his deal. We'll take a look around, see what's available. Not really anything I am interested in the deadline, like I said. Not a whole lot of improvements this team needs to make. So let's jump back into the lines now and take a look. We'll have to replace Connor Bedard. Reichel's back. But I'll set all that up, and then we'll sim out to the rest of the year. We are almost guaranteed right now to make the playoffs. So it should be a big year, trying to back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The regular season is complete. We'll take a look at the standings and see where we rank, but should be first in the league. Yeah, 132, not quite 65 wins. That would be the record for wins. The Stars and the Avalanche round out the top 3 of our division, and the Jets and the Predators both get in as the wildcard teams. Looking at the entire league, we did win the President's Trophy. Maple Leafs at 120, Stars at 116, Devils at 112, and the Panthers round out the top 5 at 112 as well. Going to take a look at our stats for the season. Really not one superstar player on our team this year, but a great team performance overall. Connor Bedard took a step back, only getting 82 points in 80 games, just under 40 goals. It's a little bit of a disappointing year for him, but hey, we had a great team around him, so they had to score as well. Frondell had a terrific second season as well. 82 points in 82 games, a point per game exactly. 28 goals, 54 assists for him. Natchez at 78 and 82. Oliver Moore at 77 and 82. A good performance out of him, especially on the third line. And Boisvert rounds out our top 5, 69 points in 79 games. Levshunov put up a good year as well, 62 points in 82 games for a defenseman. 20 goals. Really happy to see that. Nazar, 59 points in 82 games, and old man Burakovsky, 58 points in 82 games at age 34. For a 90 overall, Lafreniere had a bit of a disappointing season as well, 56 points in 82 games. But, I mean, you can't argue with the team's success, so if that's what it takes, then everybody's buying in. Spencer Knight had a terrific season, 50 wins out of him, a 924 and a 215. Soderblom as his backup put up a 927 and a 194. What a year out of the goalies here in Chicago. For the entire year, Leon Draisaitl led the league at 132, 63 goals, 69 assists. Nice. Connor McDavid, 128, 47 goals, 81 assists. Matthews at 127. Rantanen, another great year at 123. 62 goals, 61 assists out of him. And Ehlers rounds out the top 5, 120, 47 goals, 73 assists. Draisaitl did lead the league in goals, but Rantanen was right behind him with 62. Kyle Connor at 59, Robertson also at 59, and Pasta at 58 rounds out the top 5 of goal scorers. And goalies for the year, Spencer Knight was the most winning goalie in the league. That 924 also looks to be the best save percentage, at least in the top percentage of the goalies here in terms of wins. And a 215 also is really good. So I think Spencer Knight right now is probably the favorite to win the Vezina Trophy. Solar's put up 46 wins, only an 897 and a 306, so the Leafs appear to be outscoring their problems a little bit. Shesterkin at 909 and a 272, a fine year out of him. Kochekov as well, 905, 275. Ottinger with a pretty good year, 910 and a 262. Montembeault had a really good year for him, 912 and a 266. And Gustafsson at a 908 and 290. Sorting by save percentage, and the Blackhawks had 2 of the top 3 save percentages in the NHL. The only guy better only played 2 games for the Flames. So, I mean, what a performance out of the goalies this year for Chicago. Really good. Again, the goalies were superstars this year. And our team, really balanced, great attack, and we'll be taking on the Nashville Predators in round 1. They better bring their A game because we are looking to repeat as Stanley Cup champions. Gonna sim out the first 3 games, of course, and see where we end up. After 3, we are up 3-0 on the Predators, so good start to our playoff run. Can we close it out in a sweep of round 1? We cannot. Predators will force a game 5. Looking to close it out here, though. Gets the boys some rest before they go into round 2. And that'll do it. 6-2 win. So it was a 4-3 win, a 3-2 win, a 6-1 win, a 6-3 loss, and a 6-2 win. So really good performance again out of the guys. 4-1 will be the first series. Sim forward a couple days now and see who we play in round number 2. Round 2 will be against my Dallas Stars, Mikko Rantanen, Jake Ottinger, Jason Robertson, Miro Heiskanen. This is a good team. Hopefully, we can close it out here pretty quickly. We're going to lose game 1, going to win game 2 in overtime, and game 3 in overtime, so a close series so far. Game 4 now would be huge to take a 3-1 lead in the series, and we will not. They will tie it up, so a big game 5 here. This will be huge for the series, and we win it. Can we close it out in game 6, or will the Stars force a game 7? Game 7 it is. We're going to go into a super sim on this one and make sure we watch it, see who closes it out, and move on to the conference finals. Here we are in the first period of game 7. So far not a lot going on, only 1 shot on goal, 2 shots now through the first 4 minutes of the game. First goal of the game will go to Ethan Belchatz, our rookie, putting one in at about 14 minutes left to go in the first. Tight angle on Jake Ottinger. Under 5 minutes now, and the Hawks are still holding that 1-0 lead. Shots are pretty even, 8-7 now as we approach the end of the first period. Underway in the second, Hawks still holding the 1-0 lead over the Stars. Shots are almost at even, 11-10, and Robertson will get a goal evening up the shots. And then right after that, Robertson puts back-to-back, looking like Mikko Rantanen in Game 7 against Colorado last year. There's a huge swing for the Stars. Now down a goal, the Knights are looking to push back here under 10 minutes in the second period. Power play for the Blackhawks, and they will score on it. Bedard puts up a goal of his own. That'll tie it up at 2. As we enter the third period, that goal by Bedard will be the tying goal, so we'll get this underway. We know Bedard's had some big Game 7 performances. Last year in the Stanley Cup, he put the hat trick up. Power play for the Hawks, and the Stars will kill it off. So we are going to go under 10 minutes or so, and then we'll jump in and watch the game. An overtime Game 7 would be electric, but hopefully we can close this one out before then. A goal by Mikko Rantanen at 9:20 puts the Stars up by 1, but Newble, the fourth line player for us, answers Rantanen's goal at 7 minutes to tie it up. We're at 6 minutes now. We're probably going to jump into this game and watch it, just see, what happens. Maybe it goes into overtime. That would be electric. Here we are in the third. Johnson takes a big shot, clicks off his skates to the corner, picked up by Sam Steele, up to Thomas Harley, now back to Steele, shot off the post and to the corner. Rantanen fights for it, and he will win the puck, tied up now, and it will be kicked around to the behind the net. Rantanen across the blue line carries the puck in. He gets a hit, but he takes a shot and a big blocker save by Spencer Knight, going short side on him. Rantanen now behind the net for Johnson. Johnson up to Lundqvist. Harley now takes a point shot, but he gets blocked away. Now Belchetz, if he hurries, he might have a 2-on-1. Gets angled off by Harley, though, looking for the middle of the ice. Belchet's going to get tied up in the corner. Tire guys on the ice for the Hawks, just trying to get a change in. It'll be picked up by Kesselring over to Belchetz. Haig, now Kesselring in deep. Ottinger with a big save, and now we have a 2-on-1 for the Stars. It's going to be Rantanen bringing the puck in. Rantanen tries to go across. Big shot, big save by Spencer Knight. Thomas Harley has the puck poked away up to Belchetz. The Hawks are absolutely exhausted, having gotten a change since we started in the third period. Over 2-minute shift for this forward line, and for the defense as well. All the way over to Belchetz. Hasn't changed yet. Kesselring now to Newble. Newble gets a shot away. Still no changes for either team. They're absolutely exhausted. Harley takes a big point shot, bounces around and in on Knight, and he will hold for the first change of the third period since we jumped in here. Mikko Rantanen's having a good playoffs with 18 points. Jason Robertson and Connor Bedard both tied for 16 points. And here is Bedard taking on Hintz in the face-off dot. Kicked out to Carlo. Carlo against his former team in the Blackhawks that we won the Stanley Cup with last year. Rantanen now completely exhausted from that first shift. Takes a big shot. That was Miro Heiskanen that goes wide and all the way down the ice. Chased down by Carlo. Takes a hit from Natchez, but up to Rantanen and now Robertson to the red line. Big hit on Robertson by Connor Bedard, and he will skate it away. Bringing it into the offensive zone, it's Neighbors. Looking on the left side, takes a shot, bounces around, and a big poke check there by Spencer Knight. Up to Nazar now, looking to rush. Gets a big hit there by Valimaki, but a turnover by Nazar. Up to Boisvert. Boisvert backhand, and Ottinger makes a nifty save with the pad and then the glove. Under 2 minutes left to go in the game now as Bedard takes the puck over in the middle of the ice and then turns it right back over to the Stars. This is looking like a next goal wins type of situation as we near overtime. 3-3 is the score. Frondell now has it on the left side of the ice, skates it up to the red line, now into the offensive zone, gets angled off and pinned against the wall by Rantanen, and now Shillington will skate away with the puck, retreating behind his net. Bedard on the left-hand side brings it in the offensive zone, looking for a lane, heads around one guy, and a big glove save by Ottinger, a nifty, patented toe drag release there by Connor Bedard, but he couldn't find the back of the net. Huge offensive zone faceoff as Boisvert will slate in against Hintz with under a minute left to go in the third period. This will be fought for and won by Lafreniere, and he takes a shot, almost gets it past Ottinger, and then a backhand picked up by Ottinger and caught in the glove. 41 seconds left. That was a pretty dangerous sequence off the faceoff, and they'll do it again, this time from the right-hand side of Ottinger. This time from the right circle, it's going to be Boisvert, won by Hintz, back to Heiskanen. Heiskanen now up to Rantanen across the blue line. Rantanen pretty tired. Korchinski trips a little bit, and then gets angled off by Rantanen. Rantanen takes a hot pass all the way to the corner, picked up by Hintz. Carlo now up to Heiskanen. Point shot, blocked, bounces around, sticks flying everywhere, and eventually cleared out by the Hawks. It will be Boisvert skating forward over the blue line. Under 30 seconds left now. Boisvert holds in, takes a shot, gets blocked up by Nazar. Carlo kicks it out, and Steele will try and skate it out for the Stars. Up to Hintz now across the blue line. Hintz tries to get it over for Steele. Still up to Tippett with a shot, and that was Spencer Knight with a end of the game. 11 seconds left on the save. Huge save for Spencer Knight to keep this one even, looking for overtime. Big offensive zone faceoff now. For the Stars, it's going to be Wyatt Johnson versus Oliver Moore. One back by Moore, but taken over by Tippett. Johnson now up to Harley. Harley takes a shot, and then they score! Thomas Harley puts a goal in, and that is going to end the season of the Blackhawks. Thomas Harley with a huge goal, 7 seconds left, and this is probably the end of the season for the Chicago Blackhawks. What a heartbreaker to lose in that fashion in the second round. And there is the horn. The Dallas Stars will advance to the conference finals, and the Blackhawks will be eliminated. Heartbreaking end of the playoffs in the second round for the Blackhawks. We'll go ahead and sim forward and see who the Stanley Cup champion is, and then we'll get into the stats and the awards for the year. And the Dallas Stars did end up winning the Stanley Cup final against the Toronto Maple Leafs. At least we ended up getting eliminated by the team that went on to win, but a 4-2 win over the Maple Leafs. Dallas did sweep the Jets in the conference finals as well. Going to look at the player stats now for the playoffs. For our team specifically, Connor Bedard led our team with 16 points in 12 games. Korchinski, a really good playoffs, a point per game out of him. Nate just with 11 in 12. Frondell with 9 in 12. Lafreniere at 8. Leading the team in goal was Bedard. He had more than double anybody else after him, but Frondell put up 4. Good performance out of him once again. Spencer Knight had a bit of a rough playoffs, in 893 and a 217, just wasn't good enough. 7 wins, 5 losses. Soderblom did get some relief. It looks like he had 5 shots, saved all 5 of them. And now looking at the entire league, we're going to take a look at the skater stats and the goalie stats. Jake Oettinger was your Stanley Cup winning goalie, 14 wins, a 914 and a 275. Great performance out of Jake Oettinger. Only 23 games played for Jake Oettinger, though, so he did get hurt at some point in the playoffs, but they made it work, still won the Stanley Cup. Soares at an 894 and a 330 was your Stanley Cup losing goalie. Montembeault in an 892 and a 327. Spencer Knight in 893 and a 317. Really not great performances here in the playoffs from these goalies. Shesterkin is the outlier. He had a really good performance, a 926 and a 238. Looking at skater stats, Matthew did lead the league in points, 33 in 25 games. Rantanen right on his trail, 32 points in 23 games. Robertson, a good playoffs, 31 in 23, and Nylander right behind him. Kyle Connor's going to run out of the top 5, 29 points in 18 games. Leading the playoffs in goals was Austin Matthews at 19 goals, but just couldn't get it done when it mattered the most. Kyle Connor, 13 goals. Rantanen and Hintz and Tavares all had 11. Robertson right behind them with 10, as well as Nyes. Looking at the awards, the Stanley Cup obviously went to the Dallas Stars, couldn't bring it home for the second year in a row. Leon Draisaitl will win the Art Ross Trophy. Hart will go to Matthews. James Norris will go to Morgan Riley. Lady Byng's going to go to Sam Reinhart. Calder Trophy will go to Bois, and that's back-to-back Calder winners for the Chicago Blackhawks. Frondell last year, Bois this year. Conn Smythe will go to Mikko Rantanen for the second time in 3 years. You got to imagine the Stars would be happy with the trade if that is what happens in real life. Spencer Knight will win the Vezina Trophy. Great year out of Spencer Knight, as well as the Jennings. Bill Masterton will go to Colton Parayko for the second year in a row. Jack Adams to Swift in Pittsburgh. Selke will go to JT Miller. Ted Lindsay to Draisaitl. And the Rocket Richard also to Draisaitl. That will do it for Season 4 and Episode number 2 of the Chicago Blackhawks rebuild. We're going to get into the offseason in Episode 3, starting Season number 5 and number 6, as we look to build a dynasty with this team. We are well on our way. A great performance in Seasons 3 and 4, but came up short, so we are going to come back hungrier than ever. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you can catch all my future hockey rebuilds just like this one. And if you didn't catch my Vegas Golden Knights series, you can find that one in the same playlist as this one. Make sure you can go show that one a like as well. As always, I appreciate all the support, and I will catch you guys next time.